History is shaped by extraordinary individuals, few more so than Gaius Marius. Rising from humble origins, Marius became Rome's most powerful general and statesman, fundamentally transforming the Republic. His military reforms created a professional army, loyal to its generals rather than the state, setting the stage for Rome's civil wars and the rise of the emperors. Marius was a disruptor, loved by the people, feared by the elite, and elected consul an unprecedented 7 times. His story is one of ambition, innovation, and unintended consequences. To understand the fall of the Roman Republic, you must understand Marius. Let's explore how one man's vision changed Rome forever. Gaius Marius was the first in his family to enter the Senate. Born in Arpinum, far from Rome's elite circles, he grew up as an outsider, forging a deep connection with ordinary Romans. Lacking a patrician education, Marius learned discipline and leadership in the army, serving under Scipio Aemilianus in Spain. His bravery and toughness earned him early recognition, with Scipio himself predicting Marius's greatness. Marius's outsider status became his political brand, presenting himself as a man of the people. This image resonated with both the populace and the soldiers he would later command. His relentless ambition challenged the old order and paved his way to power. Marius's rise was marked by bold moves and calculated alliances. He was a man of the people, understanding the power of public support and leveraging it to his advantage. He began as tribune of the plebs, championing reforms that curbed elite influence and defied the consuls. His actions were not just political maneuvers but bold statements against the entrenched power structures. His marriage to Julia of the Julii Caesares linked him to Rome's ancient nobility, boosting his legitimacy. This union was more than a personal alliance. It was a strategic move that solidified his standing among Rome's elite. Marius's breakthrough came during the Jugurthine War, where he criticized aristocratic incompetence. His military acumen and leadership skills were on full display, earning him the respect and admiration of his troops, and promised victory. His promises were not empty, they were backed by a clear vision and a plan to restore Rome's glory. Running as a populist, he won the consulship in 107 BC, defeating the Senate's opposition. His victory was a testament to his ability to connect with the common people and rally them to his cause. Marius's message was clear: the old elite had failed and their time was over. He positioned himself as the champion of the people, ready to bring about the change they desperately needed, and he, a man of action, would deliver results. His election was a stunning victory for outsiders, signaling a shift in the political landscape of Rome. His election was a stunning victory for outsiders. It was a clear indication that the people were ready for change and willing to support a leader who promised to deliver it. Marius had used his military reputation and popular appeal to seize Rome's highest office. His rise to power was a blend of strategic brilliance and an understanding of the public's pulse, and popular appeal to seize Rome's highest office. The stage was set for his revolutionary impact. Marius was not just a politician, he was a visionary leader ready to reshape Rome's future. The stage was set for his revolutionary impact. As consul, Gaius Marius faced a crisis that threatened the very heart of Rome's power. The Republic was under siege from foreign enemies and internal unrest, but the old system for raising armies was failing. Traditionally, only land-owning citizens could serve as soldiers, but years of war and economic hardship had left fewer and fewer men who qualified. Rome desperately needed soldiers, but the property-based recruitment system was broken beyond repair. Marius's bold solution was revolutionary. He abolished the property requirement altogether. Now, any Roman citizen could join the legions, regardless of wealth or social standing. For the first time, the poor and landless, who had little hope for advancement, were welcomed into the ranks of Rome's armies. This opened the door for thousands who had been excluded, giving them a new sense of purpose and belonging. The Marian reforms transformed the Roman army from a part-time militia into a full-time professional fighting force. Soldiers were now paid regular wages, provided with food and equipment, and promised land as a reward for their service. For many, the army became a path out of poverty, a chance to earn honor, wealth, and a future for their families. The legions became more disciplined, better trained, and fiercely loyal to those who led them. Marius also introduced sweeping changes to the way the army was organized and equipped. He standardized weapons and armor, ensuring every legionary was equally prepared for battle. The legions were reorganized into smaller, more flexible units, capable of rapid movement and complex maneuvers. These innovations made the Roman army more adaptable and deadly than ever before. One of Marius's most enduring symbols was the introduction of the eagle standard, the aquila. This majestic emblem became the heart of every legion, a rallying point in battle and a source of immense pride for the soldiers. To lose the eagle was the greatest disgrace, to defend it, the highest honor. The aquila united the men, forging a powerful sense of identity and brotherhood. But these changes had unintended consequences. The new professional soldiers owed their livelihoods, rewards, and futures to their generals, not to the distant Senate in Rome. Their loyalty shifted from the Republic to the charismatic leaders who commanded them in the field. Soldiers now fought for the man who led and rewarded them, not for the Senate or the ideals of the Republic. Generals became powerful figures, able to command the devotion of entire armies. This shift in loyalty created private armies, each tied to its own commander. Rival generals could now use their legions to pursue personal ambitions, leading to dangerous power struggles and eventually, to civil war. Marius's reforms helped Rome conquer new lands and build a vast empire, but they also planted the seeds of instability. The balance of power between the Senate and the generals was forever altered, undermining the foundations of the Republic. The consequences of these changes would echo through the centuries, shaping the destiny of Rome and all who followed. Rome would never be the same. The Republic's transformation into an empire had begun, and the world would feel its impact for generations to come. As Marius ended the Jugurthine War, a greater threat emerged: migrating Germanic and Celtic tribes. After Rome's catastrophic defeat at Arausio, panic gripped the city. Marius was elected consul repeatedly, entrusted with Rome's survival. He drilled his new army relentlessly, forging Marius's mules into a disciplined force. At Aquae Sextiae, he annihilated the Teutones with tactical brilliance. The next year at Vercellae, his legions crushed the Cimbri, ending the northern threat. These victories saved Rome from destruction. Marius's leadership and reforms had delivered Rome from disaster. He became a living legend, but his unprecedented power would soon spark new conflicts. Marius's victories were celebrated as the salvation of Rome. The people hailed him as the third founder of Rome, placing him alongside Romulus and Camillus. For this was the ultimate honor. He had surpassed the old elite. His popularity soared, but so did the Senate's fear. A general adored by the masses and backed by a loyal army threatened the Republic's traditions. The title Third Founder was both a triumph and a warning. Marius's rise deepened divisions in Roman politics. The seeds of civil strife were sown. Marius's marriage to Julia of the Julii Caesaris was a masterstroke. It gave him noble connections and revived the fortunes of Julia's ancient family. This alliance made Marius the uncle by marriage to Julius Caesar, shaping Caesar's early loyalties. Caesar grew up witnessing Marius's populist power and his battles with the aristocracy. When Sulla later purged Marius's supporters, Caesar's refusal to abandon his Marian ties nearly cost him his life. This family bond defined Caesar's political identity. Years later, Caesar would publicly honor Marius, signaling his intent to continue his legacy. The Marian-Julian alliance would echo through Rome's future. In the late Roman Republic, a new political force emerged, the populares. These were politicians who claimed to represent the interests of the common people, challenging the traditional authority of the Senate's elite. At the forefront of this movement stood Gaius Marius, a man of humble origins who rose to power through military brilliance and popular support. Marius became a symbol of hope for Rome's lower classes, promising reforms and opportunities for those long ignored by the aristocracy. He restructured the Roman army, opening its ranks to the poor and granting them a stake in Rome's future. This move not only transformed the military, but also shifted the balance of power in Roman politics. Yet Marius's rise brought him into direct conflict with Lucius Cornelius Sulla, a patrician whose ambition and cunning matched Marius's own. Sulla, born into a noble but impoverished family, was determined to restore the Senate's authority and protect the privileges of the old order. Their bitter rivalry first ignited during the Jugurthine War in North Africa. Although Marius led the campaign, it was Sulla who negotiated the capture of King Jugurtha, claiming the glory for himself. This act sowed seeds of resentment and set the stage for a deadly feud. The tension between them escalated when a new threat emerged in the east: Mithridates, king of Pontus. The Senate initially gave Sulla command of the campaign, but Marius, leveraging his popularity, used the People's Assembly to overturn the decision and seize the command for himself. This unprecedented move shattered political norms and enraged Sulla. In response, Sulla did the unthinkable. He marched his loyal legions on Rome itself. For the first time in history, a Roman general attacked his own city, breaking a sacred taboo and plunging the Republic into chaos. Marius was forced to flee, but he was not defeated. Gathering support from his allies and veterans, he returned to Rome with an army of his own. The city was engulfed in violence as Marius retook control, unleashing a brutal purge against his enemies and staining the streets with blood. In the aftermath, Marius secured his unprecedented 7th consulship, a testament to his enduring influence. Yet, his final victory was short-lived. He died soon after, leaving behind a legacy marked by both reform and ruthless violence. The cycle of civil war and political bloodshed that began with Marius and Sulla would haunt Rome for generations. Their struggle unleashed forces that could not be contained, tearing at the very fabric of the Republic. The bitter rivalry between these two men shattered the old Republican norms, undermining the rule of law and setting a dangerous precedent for future leaders. In the wake of their conflict, Rome would never return to its old ways. The Republic had been forever changed, and the shadow of civil war would loom over the city for years to come. Marius's legacy is a paradox. He saved Rome from foreign threats and broke the aristocracy's grip on power. But his reforms created armies loyal to generals, not the state, unleashing a new era of warlords. Marius set dangerous precedents, using popular support to override the Senate and military force to settle political disputes. The civil wars he ignited led directly to Caesar, the end of the Republic, and the rise of the emperors. Marius's professional army became the model for Rome's future conquerors. He forged a new Rome, but in saving it, he doomed the Republic. The age of emperors began with Marius's revolution.